Folks, just when you thought things couldn't get any crazier in the city of Chicago, they go and prove us wrong yet again. And they do something crazier. So, what I'm about to tell you, you're going to think is fake. You're going to think that it isn't real. It doesn't exist. It didn't happen. But I want you to know that it did. And this is one of those incidents where when you read it, it is so unbelievable, you actually verify it to make sure that it's not fake. And then you find out it's real, and you don't know whether to laugh, cry, feel bad. Not sure. It's that incredible, that unbelievable, and frankly, that disturbing. So in the city of Chicago, the city council people are called aldermen. It's a fancy name for city council members. And these are paid people. These people are paid anywhere between $20,000 to all the way up to $90,000 plus to sit on the city council of Chicago. Chicago, as you know, is a war zone. There's people being shot, killed, murdered, raped, you name it. And the city's just getting worse and worse. However, one person has come up with a plan to combat the violence. And if you haven't heard of this plan, get ready, because I have it right here for you this evening. You may not have heard of it. It just came out. Brand new plan, brand new initiative that is going to help eliminate the crime in Chicago. The gang shootings, everything. Here we go. I'm going to read you right from the report I got. Chicago Alderman Michele Smith, she's a Democrat out of Ward 43. She wants her constituents to wear whistles, like referees in sports use. So they can blow their whistles while they run toward criminals, robbers, whoever, should they witness a crime taking place. CWB Chicago reported that Smith is bringing back the Whistle Stop program, which existed in the Lincoln Park section in the 70s. So the Whistle Stop program, which existed in the 70s, was where residents wore whistles around their neck, and when they saw crimes, they would blow their whistle and it would alert the authorities. But hold on, listen, very different times. Here we go. Michele Smith sent out an email about the program saying, the Whistle Stop program follows these rules. Follow along, folks. It gets better. If you find yourself in a suspicious situation, we're not sure what that is, or witness a crime, which is all over, blow your whistle. If you hear a whistle, call the police and then move toward the sound of the whistle. Whatever is blowing that whistle, you move toward it, go toward it. So someone is getting held up at gunpoint and you hear the whistle. So you hear the whistle, you get on the phone, you say, 911, I'm at the corner of Washington and 53rd, and I hear a whistle. I'm running toward it to see what's happening. It gets better. Hold on, it gets better. Blow your whistle. If you hear a whistle, call the police, who have been defunded, and you're saying defund the police, abolish the police, all this crazy stuff. But in this case, you're going to call the police and then move toward the source while blowing your whistle. You're going to run toward the danger. You don't have any weapons because Chicago is the most strict in the world on anti-gun laws. So you're going to be unarmed, you're going to be unprotected, but you're going to run toward that danger, blowing your whistle. Blowing your own. Michele Smith, this city councilwoman, she claimed that blowing a whistle while running at a suspect, a robber, whoever, forces the offender to flee and helps the police pinpoint the location of the crime. Okay, so you are running toward someone who is robbing someone at gunpoint. They see you blowing your whistle, running toward them, blowing tweet, tweet, tweet. And that is going to now trigger the person who is committing the crime with their gun to, according to her, run away. But it's also going to help the police, based on your whistleblowing, know where the crime is. But the crime is no longer happening there because the person ran away because you were blowing your whistle. So right there, it makes no sense. But it gets better, folks. Here we go. Councilwoman Michele Smith wants constituents to be sure to get good whistles if they intend to take part of the program. Don't be getting those cheap Chinese knockoff. Listen, you want to get the good whistles, like the ones that like the NFL and NCAA referees use. They're so loud you can hear them in the stadium of 100,000 people. Don't be getting the Walmart. No. Target, it's a step up from Walmart, but no. You got to get the premium whistles. She said so. You got to get the premium. You got to get the good ones. She urges you to get the good whistles. Something that can be really loud. This is quote, something that can be really loud. Whistles that can be used in sports, camping safety, and the kind of whistles that we recommend people get, Smith said. So she wants to make sure that if you are taking part in this program, you are actually using a good whistle to, I guess, alert the criminals that you're coming toward them. Okay. She also asked, it gets better, folks. She also asked her constituents to comply with criminals in the event that they find themselves the specific targets of the crime, meaning that if you are being robbed at gunpoint, which happens daily in Chicago, and you are being told to do something, comply with them. Like, don't try to fight or run away or blow your whistle or anything. Comply, which might be the only sensible thing in this whole insanity that I'm reading to you right now. And folks, I am not making this up. We'll post this afterwards. The team will post this. Okay. We expressly direct people, if you are the victim of crime, cooperate. Do not resist. And certainly don't blow your whistle if someone has a gun pointed at your head. This is what she said. I'm going to read that. This is quote. This is from a city councilwoman in Chicago that is getting paid anywhere between $20,000 to $90,000 a year. Okay. We expressly direct people, if you are the victim of a crime, meaning you're being robbed at the moment, and you have a gun, do not resist. Certainly don't blow your whistle if someone has a gun pointed at your head. So if they're about to shoot you and kill you, be sure don't blow your whistle because it might alarm them. But I don't know how the police are supposed to be notified. And I don't know how, if you're getting robbed at gunpoint, the whistle that you blow is supposed to alert other people that a crime is happening, and then they hear your whistle blowing, and they start blowing their whistle and start running toward you while on the phone with 911. But it gets better, folks. 2021 was the deadliest year in Chicago in a quarter century. Chicago police confirmed that they witnessed 797 homicides. 797 during the course of 2021. Now, the Chicago Sun-Times said that the Cook County Medical Examiner's records actually show 836 homicides for the city. So they actually, although the higher at the 797 was higher than the last 250 years, 836 was actually the number of homicides. 836 homicides, 2021. You were essentially 500 times more likely, if you were over 50, to get murdered or shot by gunfire in Chicago than to be taken out by the big C. And you know what we mean. The Mexican beer. You know what I'm talking about. So, here's what, folks, I don't understand. And this is something that I got to tell you, it's troubling, because I don't know how we have people like this in positions of power that are actually putting out directives like this. Can you imagine for a moment that you are living in the city of Chicago? People are getting murdered, executed in the street in cold blood every day. Crime is through the roof everywhere you go. Parents are absolutely frightened to even send their children to school. Although schools are probably going to remote, because we know what kind of city who runs Chicago, and most likely they're going to just cancel school and have the kids go remote again. But that's another story. But just think about this for a second. And I'm being serious now, as serious as we can be based on what I just read. Can you imagine living in this crime-ridden city? And then, of course, we all know the people that are being shot, killed, and murdered, raped, pillaged. We all know who the major demographic that this is happening to. It's people of color. We all know this. So, can you imagine living in this situation, this horrendous situation, living in fear, and yet the person who's in power on the city council level is saying, this is the plan. Not more police, not more, agents to get the guns out of the gangbangers' hands. Not that. The plan, according to this woman, is carry a whistle, a good one, buy a premium whistle, and walk around with a high-quality whistle around your neck. And if you see a crime occurring, blow that whistle and run toward the person committing the crime, as if that person isn't going to shoot you first for blowing your whistle and making a scene, and then go ahead and get back to the person that they're mugging and robbing. This is a human being that actually sent this out in an email to her constituents, thinking this was a viable plan to reduce crime, blowing a whistle and running toward criminals. And meanwhile, calling the police that you probably voted to defund just a few months ago. It is almost as if it's not real, like we're living in some kind of altered reality, like we're in the Twilight Zone. But it's very real. It's not a joke. These are the people that are in charge in these cities. And this is what they're really suggesting you do. Nothing real, nothing of substance. Nothing that's actually going to really stop crime. It makes you wonder if stopping crime, preventing crime, eliminating crime, reducing crime is even really a concern for them. Because if it was really a concern, would the strategy, the game plan, the grand plan of getting a sports whistle and blowing it at would-be robbers, or blowing it when you see crime, or blowing it when you're getting robbed, how did anyone wake up one morning and say, this is it, this is the big idea, this is how we're going to make the city safer? we are going to arm our citizens with whistles. If I lived in her district and I got this letter from her, and this is someone that got voted in, maybe I voted for her, maybe I didn't, but I voted for this person, and I got this letter, my blood would be boiling. Can you imagine someone living in this district that actually had a family member that was maybe shot, killed? I have been on the ground in Chicago, as many of you know. You've seen it. I've shared about it with 221B Tactical, taking care of the officers of the Chicago Police Department, donating thousands of dollars in gear. I've talked to the police officers, but I've also talked to people living in the communities there. Let me tell you, folks, they all want more cops. You talk to the mothers, the grandmothers that are there trying to raise children, and they all told me, we need more police here. Not less police, we need more cops here. We're not afraid of the cops, we're afraid of these gangbangers shooting up at the place. Go talk to them for yourself. You'll see. But what we hear is something completely different, which is disturbing but not surprising based on what's going on today. That aside, can you imagine that you had a family member that was shot, killed, murdered, raped, whatever, and then you get this as the resolve? You just lost a loved one. I talked to a mother, her child was shot and killed by a stray bullet. If I was that mother of that child that was shot and killed by a stray bullet, which is happening every day in Chicago, and I got a letter saying our plan is to give you whistles. Not even give you. Remember, they're not buying you the whistles. They're telling you to buy the whistles, which is unbelievable in and of itself. And then they're telling you to blow the whistle during crime or when you witness crime. There's no cops on the street to hear the whistle. So you're just blowing the whistle to blow the whistle. Because in Chicago, no one's doing anything if they hear a whistle blowing. But then call 911 and give them your location. This makes no sense. It's actually alarming that a woman like this can actually function in the world. Like, how does this woman put gas in her car? How does she get dressed in the morning? You have to ask yourself, this is beyond disgraceful, and it's beyond unbelievable. So when you look at cities like Chicago, Baltimore, Philadelphia, that are riddled with crime, crime is spiking, homicides are spiking, people are dying, children are dying, babies are getting struck by stray bullets, teenagers are being executed in the street and in back alleys. You got to ask yourself, what in the world are the people in charge doing? Now, we all know who the demographic of people that are dying are, right? Predominantly people of color. But then when you look at who's in charge in these cities, for example, Chicago, Philadelphia, Baltimore, Detroit, you look at who's in charge and you see that they too are people of color. And yet these are the grand plans to help save their people. Go buy a whistle. I don't know what to say. It's almost unbelievable, but it's real. So anyway, that's all I got for you folks. Sharing the news that is almost too insane to believe. And folks, we're just going to see more of this. This is just the beginning of 2022. You know we're going to see more insanity just like this. What's next? Carry a stuffed animal with you, and if you see a crime occurring, run toward the gun-toting robber with the stuffed animal and say, "Stop, here, I have a toy for you." What's next? What lunacy is going to come next? And they wonder why crime continues to spike and people continue to die. Look at who's making the laws. Look at who's at the top. They say it's systemic. But you look who comprises the system, and it's the people who look just like those people who are dying. It's kind of weird. Anyway, that being said, we got some great new stuff coming out, 221B Tactical. We got a lot of people who message and things like that. Thank you for all the messages. The team tries to respond to everyone, so thank you for that. So if you like this video, please share it. If you find it completely insane and you want to give someone a good laugh in these times where we can all use a good laugh, go ahead, please share this video and give this video a like if you can. Thumbs up wherever you're watching this video. If you're watching on Facebook, if you're watching on YouTube, just give it a thumbs up. Leave a comment. Let us know what you think. I do my best to go through the comments, and the team does their best to send any direct comments to me, so please do so. If you want to know more about what we're doing with 221B and the products that we're developing to help keep you safer, more comfortable, our first responders or responsible citizens, make sure you sign up for our email list. Our email list is not a spam list where we're just sending you garbage. We actually send you useful information to help make your life better. Why? Because I appreciate email lists that I'm on that don't send me garbage, but they send me stuff that I actually open up and I read, and then after I read that email, I say, wow, man, I didn't know that. That was interesting. I'm going to share this social currency. Or I'm going to save this because it was valuable and it could help make my life better. So that's what we try to share with you. So sign up for our email list. We'll throw the link somewhere here. The team will do it. And of course, if you have any questions about any of our phenomenal gear to help keep you or your loved ones safer, better protected, warmer in the cold weather, cooler in the hot weather, you can go ahead and email our sales team at sales@221btactical.com. If you're watching this on the tube, be sure to subscribe to the channel. Thank you. And may God help us, because at this point, I'm not sure if anyone else can. Good night.